Hello everyone.
I'm Max from Canada.
I'm Suji from Thailand.
Well, as you know, since I'm Canadian, I love ice hockey. Finland also love ice hockey, but why do they love ice hockey? Do you have a theory?
Because you can see a lot of snow over there.
Exactly. I mean, cold country. But it's interesting because in Norway, they don't like ice hockey as Finnish, right? And Norway is very cold. So it's not just the temperature. There must be other reason why they love it so much. Because I was thinking about that. And yeah, Canada is super cold. It's a national sport. But there must be other reason because there's a lot of country in Europe that it's cold and they don't like ice hockey as much as Finland and Sweden. For example, Norway don't like it as much. So there must be a reason. We're going to find out in this video more reason. So yeah, let's go.
Let's get started.
When you think about Finland, chances are that you might think about winter, cold and ice.
And Santa Claus.
Considering that and the hype that ice hockey gets here, it would be only logical that ice hockey is the national sport of Finland.
Yeah, same in Canada.
If this is your logic, then you can take it
and shove it up your butt.
Because the national sport of Finland is the Finnish version of baseball.
Oh, wait.
But
it's not hockey?
Because the nation...
Is that cricket? That's the national sport in Finland.
Cricket?
It's like baseball, but it's not time cricket, but it reminds me of cricket.
Oh.
It's a sport that looks like baseball. What is that? I've never seen this before.
The national sport of Finland is the Finnish version of baseball. But there has never been a huge storyjuhla after Finland has won the World Cup of pesäpallo. And how many times have we won that? Well, couple times. And that brings me to the subject of this video. The obvious reason why Finland loves ice hockey is because we are good in it. But we are not too good. For example, for a nation like Canada, success in the major tournaments is more of a rule than an exception. But for Finland, this is not the case.
No, but okay, this is a bit of a myth. Let me tell you from a Canadian perspective, right? We have a league called the NHL in North America. This is what you want to win, right? The most for us. The Olympic or the World Championship is not as important as it is in Sweden or in Finland or Czech Republic. In Canada, we care about the NHL first, which is like the NBA of ice hockey. And all of those international competitions, they are never as important, or the Olympic, as the big league. And I know that in Finnish and Sweden, you care a lot more about the Olympics and the World Championship than we do in Canada. So I think it's a substantial difference, I think, in mentality compared to...
Than an exception. But for Finland, this is not the case. And that's what makes things interesting. When Finland is playing against another ice hockey nation, it is usually the underdog. And everyone loves a good underdog story. Here are a few examples how Finland is inferior to the other nations. We have never as many NHL players in our team as the Canadians have. We are never as lucky as the Swedish are. And we have never as many bribed referees like Russians have. On a quick side note.
In Montreal, my captain in the 90s was Saku Koivu from Finland because I'm from Montreal. And Saku Koivu was the captain and he was so loved in Canada. And when he came back from cancer. Finland, I think in ice hockey, why you guys are so popular in the NHL is because Finnish people are very humble. They don't get into controversy. They don't get into trouble. They are very humble and they are hard worker. So in a league like the NHL, the fans love Finnish player. Even though there's still around 40 of them. I don't know how many, but...
All the national ice hockey tournaments. The Finnish national team has had fairly good success in the World Championship tournaments. But there is one problem. The World Championships of ice hockey are held every year. And because of that, in my honest opinion, they are kind of meh. They don't even bother interrupting the NHL during the World Championships.
Hey guys, would you like to come to the World Championship tournament?
Meh.
But guys, it will be...
This is what I told you earlier, right? That we don't care that much about this.
Yeah, the World Championship.
So sometimes we don't even send our best player because it's meh, because the NHL already have the best player from all around the world. So we don't need to prove ourselves. I think that's the mindset that we have.
Much fun.
He said meh. M-E-H. Meh.
Imagine if they had the World Championships of football every year. Of course, that would be impossible, because football is much larger sport than ice hockey. Also, all the bribery and shady business would be extremely expensive. And I imagine that you would have to acquire a new set of slaves every year. Okay, so Finland is good at ice hockey, but not too good. But of course, one reason Finland loves ice hockey is because the game itself is highly entertaining. Just look at this clip of ice hockey accompanied with
Gallagher.
copyright-free metal music.
Really?
Yes! Look at you don't recognize Brendan Gallagher? Number 11.
He
played-
had beer now.
Yes, he's old. Versus the Philadelphia Flyers.
Clip of ice hockey accompanied with copyright-free metal music.
Oh, McDavid. Ooh. Oh, yeah, I remember this goal. Toronto, Boston, yeah. Great defense. Pasternak. Is it? No.
Jumalauta. Now that is a great sport. There is one aspect in the Finnish ice hockey that makes the game even more entertaining. The commentary.
Katsokaa 19
Yeah, and then they
nuorukainen,
fight each
sinne
other
lähtö
like
kiinni
the
ja
other
Konstantin Padulin katsoo, että taivas varjele mitä sieltä tulee. Sieltä tulee maali!
Oh God, it's
Ja se iskee
crazy.
Mikael Granlund vielä
don't
kerran.
know.
Ei voi kukaan muu
Yes.
väittää muuta kuin että on
We
se
call that the Michigan
sellainen
goal.
häkki.
One reason why Finland loves ice hockey might be the great Finnish ice hockey players.
Yes.
They are the ambassadors of the Finnish ice hockey and they give a goal to the future generations. Something to aim for. There are many great Finnish ice
Teemu Selanne. When I was a young teenager in the 1990s, when he came to the league, this guy was like so spectacular. He was flying across the ice. They are known to be fast on their skate.
I
Like,
love the outfit.
that's the Anaheim Mikey Ducks. It was amazing.
players
This
like
Teemu
Teemu
Selanne.
Selänne, Saku Koivu and Jari
Captain
Kurri.
Jari Kurri.
They say
They
that
were
Teemu
risky.
Selänne is the greatest Finnish NHL player, but I disagree.
Greatest.
The greatest Finnish ice hockey player of all time is obviously Jesse Puljujärvi. The entertainment
you
value
laugh?
this man has
Because he was drafted third overall or fourth overall by the Edmonton Oilers, but he was supposed to be like the next big like star of the league, and he was a complete flop.
Why?
Because when you draft player, your personality is very important. Players that have personality that are not very combative, like his personality doesn't match a typical Finnish player. He was not serious enough and dedicated enough. And there's something, unless you're like the most talented player in the universe, if you're not disciplined enough, it's not going to work out. He was big, he has all the tools, you
is
know.
off the charts because he uses the language of gods. Terali English.
I have house here and I just get new puppy. Name is Jaffa and golden retriever, and we walk with him a lot, and that's cool.
So yeah, if you didn't get the point, ice
I love
hockey
the
is kind of a
uniform.
big deal in Finland
Always.
that black
for
one.
multiple reasons. But there is one more reason. Ice hockey is a subtle way to show off the welfare of a nation. Imagine that there is some poor African village that is being ravished by a massive heat wave. And meanwhile, we here in Finland are like, you see this big ass arena over here. We use a fuck ton of water and electricity to make winter-like conditions inside of it. You know, just for fun.
Well, no, but honestly, you make a good point here. It can be expensive to play hockey because you need to buy the sticks, you need to buy the skate, which are like more than $100. You need to go to the person who's gonna shine your skate like every week. It's not a cheap sport to practice ice hockey. Like it costs a lot of equipment, and when you're young, right, you're 5 years old, and then you grow up, you need new equipment because now it doesn't work, and it's like buying new clothes every year. It can cost hundred of dollars every year, and then you need to pay to be in the league. So it can be an expensive sport for parents, and then you need to bring your kids to practice. It's not like playing football when you only have a ball and some shoes that you can keep for a while. It's way more expensive because there's a lot of different pieces of equipment that can be expensive and it can break. And
also, like, when you are in the hot country, it's difficult to store ice, so you need a lot of energy to do that in the arena. That's gonna be another thing.
I mean, not only that, but hockey is a seasonal sport. You only play the winter. So for the rest of the year, the kids are gonna play other sport. So it's gonna be even more money. Like contrary to a sport like a lot of country where they can play basketball or baseball or soccer, they have temperature where they can play way more than like 3 months per year. In Canada, hockey is pretty much like a season is going to be like, for us, it's going to be like of ice, like 3 months per year that we can have the ice, like we can go to an arena outside and skate outside, maybe 3 months per year, maybe like a December, January, February, or November, December, January. So it's not a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting to see. It's very similar to the culture, I think, of ice hockey in Canada. Even though you seem to have that inferiority complex in Finland. That's why you care so much about winning the big competition. But Finnish are still like right behind Canada, USA, like Sweden. They are up there with Russia, 4 or 5. So they are your top 5 in the world in ice hockey. They are very good for such a small country.
Yeah.
So thank you for the amazing suggestion. If there's other video from Finland we should react to, let us know in the comment below. Yes. And see you very soon.